Hi everyone, welcome to the Rugby League History channel. Today I'll be doing my preview for the 2023 NRL Charity Shield between South Sydney and St George. This match for most of its history has been the traditional curtain raiser to the NRL season. However, over time, the likes of the Auckland Lions and the NRL All-Star and NRL All-Star Indigenous and Maori games have sort of taken precedent of the Charity Shield. But for myself personally, growing up, the Charity Shield were the curtain raiser to the NRL season, and I still consider it to be the curtain raiser, and it's one of the pre-season matches I look forward to the most. This fixture is coming into its 40th year. The first time that these two sides played in the Charity Shield was 1982, and back then, and as it still is now, they're the two most successful sides in NRL New South Wales Rugby League history. South Sydney with 21 premierships, and if you look at it as the single club, St George have 16 premierships, but I know that some people class St George and St George Illawarra as different clubs, but combined they have 16 premierships, so there's 37 premierships between both clubs. Going into the 2023 Charity Shield, South Sydney have 22 shields, and if you combine both St George sides, they've got 17 shields. However, with South Sydney and some of the shields at the end, it was due to the fact that they were the previous champions and the match finished in a draw, and therefore they were given the shield by the fact that they'd won the previous Charity Shield. For the 6th year in a row, the Glen Willow Stadium in Mudgee will host this Charity Shield fixture. Beforehand, the Charity Shield were played at ANZ Stadium, Wynn Stadium, Redfern Oval and the like, but for the 6th consecutive year it's been played at Mudgee. And looking at some of the crowds that they've had out there, they've been quite healthy. They've been averaging nearly 10,000 for the Charity Shield. For St George going into this fixture, in the last 10 years, it's been very slim pickets for them. South Sydney have won 9 of the last 10 Charity Shields. And going into the 2022 Charity Shield, South Sydney had won 8 in a row. In 2022, St George upset South Sydney. They defeated them 16 points to 10. Not many people gave them a chance in that game, but they managed to prevail. South Sydney also hold the record for the biggest win in margin in the Charity Shield, that with 32 points. Back in 2021, they defeated St George 48 points to 16. Going into this match, both sides have played one game in the pre-season trials. St George were defeated by St Helens, and with South Sydney, they had a narrow loss to Manly in the trial. So I know with the St George side against St Helens, they did rest a few players. They had a mixture of NRL players and a few New South Wales Cup and under-20s players. But from what I've read on NRL.com, up to 12 of their players will be expected back for the Charity Shield game, including Jaden Suwer, Ben Hunt, Aaron Woods, Zane Musgrove and Francis Molo, and also Tyrell Sloan, Tyrell Fuimaono and Josh Kerr will also be available. With Anthony Griffin, he did say that Jack Baird and Jack de Belin were probably the only players likely to miss the Charity Shield, but both are expected to be fit for the round 2 fixture in the NRL. As for South Sydney, I expect them to name a pretty much full-strength team. I think that all the main players will be in the squad. Cameron Murray, Damien Cook, Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker. I think all of them will be there at Mudgee to play this game, because it's going to be a good run out for both sides heading into the NRL season, and both sides will be looking to make a statement in this match. I think more so for St George going into this fixture, they'll be looking to make a statement, because in the pre-season there's been a lot of talk from NRL YouTubers, a lot of people in the media saying that St George will come last, something which has not happened since 1938. So there's a lot of pressure on the club, and there's been a lot of talk about their roster. The recruitment hasn't been the best, and there's a lot of pressure on Anthony Griffin, the head coach, to get some results this year. So they'll be using this Charity Shield as a way to make a statement, and even if they fail to win the match, if they can put in a good showing, it might change a couple of people's opinions out there of how they're going to go in the 2023 NRL season. As for South Sydney, I think a lot of people out there will have them as the favourites to claim the Charity Shield for 2023, and a lot of people are probably expecting them to win well. My tip for this game is I think South Sydney will be too strong for St George. In my personal opinion, I see them winning 13 plus. I think that's just the South Sydney attack and some of the players that they got at their disposal will be too much for St George to handle. So I'm going to go for South Sydney to win 13 plus. The game is being played this Saturday on the 18th of February. So I'll be hoping to watch it because I think really early in the morning over here you'll have the St Helens against Penrith match, and I'll be definitely watching that game as a St Helens supporter. But hopefully I can tune in and watch the Charity Shield because it's a match I always enjoy watching. So that concludes my preview of the 2023 NRL Charity Shield. I'm going for South Sydney to win 13 plus. Let me know in the comment section below who you think's going to win, by what margin, and who do you think will be the star performers for both sides. Stay tuned for the next video that I'll be in, which is the 2023 World Club Challenge preview with Sam Revel, as I should see now, Wobbling Jaw Sports, as he's just recently rebranded. I'll be on his channel live at 8:30 my time to talk about the game and to give me thoughts on the World Club Challenge. But thanks once again for tuning in for the video, and I'll catch us all later in the next one. Alright, tally bye for now.